Hi, I'm Lynne with Softsquares. Today I'm going to work on this quilt. I'm going to show you how I made the blocks and how it's all coming together. This is a really simple block. Okay, this is what it looks like. So we just make a whole bunch of these, set them on point, and you get this, what do they call it? Chandelier, hanging diamonds. I've heard a couple different names. So we're going to play with that. I'm going to show you how I did it. Now I am working with Charm Pack. And I'll be honest, I don't know the name of this fabric. I've had it for a long time. So the whole line is just these different color paisleys. And I can't tell you anything more than that other than it was not through a mainstream fabric distributor. It was a Etsy shop. So I don't know anything about it. So I'm sorry I can't answer that question. But the way that this works is you take your Charm Pack and then you're going to cut, if you want it to look like this where they're matching, the block itself is matching, you're going to cut another Charm Pack of the same color into fourths, making mini charms. So there'll be 2.5-inch squares. So you're going to get this, okay, so you're going to get 2.5 and the 5-inch, and you're going to need at least 2 of these for every one of these. So if you happen to have 3 of one color, that lets you make 2 blocks because you have 2 full ones and then 4 little ones, and you just need 2 per block, and that makes your 2 sets. So I'm going to show you what I did using the 5-inch block. Okay, so I cut fabric 2.5 inches wide by 5. I've got strips. See how that goes together? Just like that. So I need a bunch of those, and I'm going to take my little block, I'm going to get the one that matches, and attach that right there, and we're going to make 2 of these. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, so when you lay your pieces out, this is how it goes on your design board. Okay. So you're going to sew this side, and then the middle side. Okay. So let's go sew these seams together. Press these all open, pressing to the dark side. So if you press everything to the dark side, your seams will automatically nest. Now I'm going to lay the block upside down so we can all see what's going on the back side. So see how easy that went? You don't have any seams that are going to overlap. They're going to be offsetting. So now we're going to sew this here and then sew this to the other side. Okay, there's my block. I just need to square it up. And this block is 9 by 9. Actually, it is not. It is 8 1/4. 3/4. I did not nest my seams very good. I could unpick it, but I am not going to. Okay, there is my block. Let's see what it looks like on the wall with the others. Okay, so here's our block. And we add it to the wall. It looks like that. Make as many of those as you want. Put them together on point, and then you have a quilt. The only thing you have left to do is put something in your corner here, which I haven't decided what I'm going to do. Probably will do white, or the option is I could also cut these in half long ways and take the other half and put it on the other side. And actually, I think I like that idea. So once I get the order, then we'll figure that out. All right, let me show you how this works when you put your rows together on point. It sounds intimidating, but it's not. Let's just refresh what on point means. It means your blocks are turned on like a diamond. So the point is up. This is one of my blocks. On point means it's set this way versus this way. So as you can see on the wall, I've got my rows going this way, and I've already started putting them together. But a traditional quilt is like that. It's actually pretty easy to do on point, and I'm going to show you how that works. Basically, after you get everything set up, you get your rows and you sew them together like a normal row, and then we're going to sew the rows together. All right, so this is how it comes together. So I've got 2 rows. I've already put my top 2 rows together, which has this triangle piece. And then here's the first row, and here is the second row, and each row gets a little wider because it's on an angle. And now I'm going to attach it to this row, and I had all this laid out on the wall so I could see exactly where things go, which is the best way to do this. But you're going to match up your points. You're going to nest your seams and clip them. You're just going to do that along all of them, and then go to the machine. And this is where you find out how square your blocks were. And I actually had a little wider ones, but we're going to ease that in there. We're going to pretend it didn't happen. Okay, so this goes like this, and my seams are not nesting. That is better to do it that way. Okay, now I have the 2 ends. So I should actually back up. So to get these pieces, I have layer cakes, so 10 by 10 square, and I cut them in half on the diagonal. So all I did was take a triangle from the layer cake, and that I haven't cut any of these extra sides down. So these are oversized, and we want them that way. Okay, so you can see as we come here and we go across, intercepting like that is good. And then I'm going to square the whole quilt up and cut off the extra, but I don't really care right now how far over or short it goes. And honestly, it's not going to go all the way to the end. And then when I trim the quilt up, it'll probably come in a little bit. It'll all make sense when it happens. But just know that all these are just a 10-inch square. So we'll do the same over here. And this one is working out that it will overlap a little more. It really doesn't matter because, like I said, when we're done, we're going to trim it. Let's go back and look at the wall. Typically when you do a chandelier, you're going to put white fabric in these spaces, and it helps give more of the illusion that these are suspended. I completely used all the white that I had of this line, and I even ordered some online from Etsy shop, and I got the wrong shade. And you know what? I decided I had so much of this fabric. I still have like a whole bunch of 10 by 10 inch pieces that I decided to make it kind of like a fun border. So I'm not going to actually put a border on because this is a built-in border. I'm just going to leave this here. So I took my 10-inch squares, cut them on the angle, and then I just laid them out all over this so that it looked good. You can see a little farther down here. There's 2 corners that ended up like this, as you can see on both sides. And so I just kept my rows the way they were, and I ended up with 2 pieces. I thought about making both of these the same one, but I really liked breaking it up because that way it's broken up everywhere else on the quilt. So again, I've got all my rows sewn together. I've got this oversized piece on here, and it's going to get trimmed up when we're all done. I'm not even worried about how oversized these are. In fact, it's probably perfect size. All right, let's go to the sewing machine. My quilt is done. Here it is in its completed state. I have squared up my corners. I had some footage of me doing it and lost it. Story of my life. But it is super easy. All I did was take my square, take one of these, and use it to get a true 90-degree angle and just kind of line up where things look good. And that's really all that it was. So I had extra over here. The orange was hanging off by quite a bit. So when I put that up there, I just intercepted where this was going and where this was going, and then went underneath and I clipped all the little dog ears because I had kind of a long tail from the corners that came together. And that's it. So there's a little bit of a bow to it. I forgot that I had not trimmed all of my blocks, and so some of them are slightly bigger than others, but I was able to ease them in, and once it gets put on the long arm and quilted with the tension there, you won't see what's going on. But I see it right now. But anyway, this is it. Let me see if I can show you top to bottom. There it is. I think it turned out really good. So this is what On Point is and how it comes together. Don't be scared of it. Give it a try. And I'll be honest, this is only my second time doing it. The first time I was really scared to do it, and I actually have a short video on it from being at a retreat, and I did the quilt that is on my bed, and the first time I ever did it, and it was actually not hard at all. Again, the biggest thing is just know you're sewing in rows on an angle this way, and you just make sure your joints line up. That's it. That really is it. So give it a try. Let me know if you have done this technique and what you think about it. Have a great day.